All right, and we're on that YouTube live. Sorry, I had to switch phones. I have actually switched to the phone that I made my first YouTube video on ever. That's an iPhone 5. I don't even think it's a 5S. Probably it's a 5S. Anyways, and so here we are. It's never gonna just be perfect. You just have to do it. So I hope you know that the value is in what I'm teaching you all as opposed to the quality of the video. I tried even plugging in my mic and it doesn't even connect to the accessory because that's how old this phone is. So I'm using this phone because the other one ran out of storage. So here we are. So let's jump into these cheat codes that we were talking about. All right. So again, this is the part what we have to learn is the accounts I'm about to share with all of you, and the cheat codes that come with it. They're called cheat codes because that's what you put on your taxes or whatever the case, right? And yeah, this is the part of the financial education, you know. So basically, this is the part of the financial IQ that we need to learn about so that we can play the creator's game. And these are the top five tax-free accounts. So basically, you don't get taxed on them. So I'm going to share them with you. And you will have to do your own research. You'll have to go seek out this information because I'm going to have to do it too. I got just a very general sweep on it. It's general, but it's deep enough that I at least can follow the cookie trails and the cookie crumb, right? So, all right, let's get started. So number one is a solo Roth. And so the solo Roth is the most powerful account that you can have. Cheat code to that is SEC401. SEC-401. Again, that's a solo Roth, and it's the most powerful of the accounts. Why? I don't know. Let's go to page 53. Maybe there's something in there that will be more helpful for you. I'm going to give this information for you, but like I said, I can't give you... He went into depth into them and lost me, which is normal because ain't nobody teaching us this stuff, right? All right, so money cheat code for the solo Roth. So you must be a business owner and you can't have W-2 employees except for yourself. You can have unlimited contractors, and it's one account with two hats. So the two hats are the traditional and the Roth. So that's it. That's all it says in there. That's going to be your cookie crumbs because the rest of it, don't know what we're talking about. All right, so number two. Again, this is an order where he's like, hey, if I were you, this is what I start with. So he'd start off with that solo Roth. Second thing is the health savings account, which is also short for an HSA, and this is meant for family health expenses. And let's see if I can find what page that's on for you all. This is taking extra time, but I hope it's worth the time for you. It's not, like I said, click to the next video. That's fine with me. Cause I'm like, I don't gotta be doing this. I could be asleep right now. I'm like, no. Like, I want my peeps to know. So here you go. All right. So cheat code PUB-969. You must have a high deductible insurance policy. It's the only triple threat account. So what you contribute, it's the only one it's the only account that is dollar for dollar deductible. So it's tax-free in, tax-free growth, tax-free out. And then there's like limits to it. You know, if you're single and below, you can only contribute $3,850. If you're single and above 55, you can only contribute $4,850. If you're married, then you can only contribute, if you're married and under age 55, you can only contribute $7,750. And then if you're over 55, you can only contribute $8,750. So there's no age limit to withdraw, must be used for health purposes, and something about a receipt reimbursement. Yeah. He said something about that during, like, he keeps all of his receipts and files them away, and then when he retires, he will get reimbursement tax-free. That's the note that I wrote. Do your research. Okay. Coverdell is also called a CISA, and that's the educational savings account. So that was towards the end, if I remember. Oh, I'm right here. Haha, funny. All right, so cheat code is PUB970, and so it must be used for education, and that doesn't necessarily mean college. That can be for anything that has to do with education. There is no age limit inside of Coverdell. The contribution limit is $2,000. You don't need to have a kid to have a Coverdell. So he was basically saying, like, it could be your niece, your nephew, some other kid, whatever the case. It just needs to be for a kid. Like, they need to be the beneficiary. And that there's an age limit. He suggested it was 30. Then you need to change the beneficiary. But it just needs to be for a young person's account up to age 30. Number 4 was Goldenroth, which is more for generational wealth. And so the money cheat code for that one is PUB590. Again, it's PUB590, also known as inherited Roth. No more contributions, and there's no age limit for the withdrawal. He actually didn't go over this one. He was running out of time. He had to get on a plane. But the last one is called the Roth, and it's considered the original gangster. And the cheat code is PUB590. Again, the cheat code is PUB590. All right. And so this is the self-directed Roth IRA. And yearly contributions below 50, 6,500, above 50, 7,500. To withdraw, you must be 59 and a half years old. To open a Roth IRA, you must have earned income. Checkbook Roth. That's all the notes I got on that. There's income disqualifications. Yeah. All right. So those are all the cheat codes. Those are the 5 tax-free accounts that he went over in depth for the past 2 days. And yeah, I encourage you to learn about them. I encourage myself to learn about them. Kathleen, learn about those, okay? These are the things that they don't tell you about. But overall, the goal, and this is something that's going to probably blow your mind, but the goal, and let me just go to that page. It's ironically page 73, which is also how old I am in the making of this video, for just tidbits for the future. The goal as a cheat code, probably the biggest cheat code you can have, according to him, is to have a family office. And so a family office, families who had family offices is Rockefellers, the Carnegies, Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates, the Walmart peeps. Okay, they all have family offices. So what that means is that basically they became their own banks within the family. And so some positions you would need in that is a CEO, chief financial officer, chief legal officer, chief investment officer, investment trades, real estate investment advisor, private equity specialist, CPAs, tax attorneys. Basically what they're saying is that they became their own bank. And so he used the example of 2 families in particular. It was the Vanderbilts and the Rockefellers. Back in the day, I mean, you could do, this is a simple Google search, but you could do research on this, and they had more money than America had in their bank account, than America, a whole country had in their bank account. The Rockefellers and the Vanderbilts had more than that. And long story short, one family had a family office and one family didn't. So there's currently one family, no more money, no nada enchilada, okay? The other family, they're still rolling, doing the thing. And so the example he used was basically like if someone in the family wanted to borrow money, they would have to go to whoever the position is in the family office, be like, yo, I want this money. and they would treat it as if it was a bank. It's like, okay, you want this money, well, you're gonna have to pay interest. You're gonna have to pay interest back and pay it back to the family office. So one family did that and was doing that however they were doing that for themselves, and one family was just giving away the money. So the ultimate goal for generational wealth is to create a family office. And so I think that that's what we all want. And can it be done in a generation? It absolutely can. The goal is, though, which generation is it going to be? Not the goal. That's the question, is what generation is it going to be? Is it going to be us? Are we going to pass it on to our kids? Are we going to pass it on to their kids? Are we going to pass it on to their kids? Are we going to pass it on to their kids? And so that's just kind of the point I want to make, is like, we're living during a time that can really change the trajectory of our family. And I'm speaking to you because we're either the same age, same situation, probably first gen, second gen, third gen. Long story short, we're just new to this land. And that's what I'm learning, is because we're new to this land, the first person here, second person here, whatever, like, we have to learn how to pioneer this land together. And so that's the biggest thing, and I'll continue and finish on my notes, but that's the biggest thing that I got from this training, was that gosh, what did I get from this training? Sorry. Is that we can't do it by ourselves. That's what it is. We cannot do it by ourselves. And actually, I just realized I got this whiteboard out here. What's the point of the whiteboard? Let me write down these the 5 tax-free accounts for you with the cheat codes, just so that you have that for yourself. Okay. All right. So number 1 is a number 2 is a health savings account. Also known as an HSA. Number 3 is a Coverdale. Sorry. It's also known as a CISA. Alright, these are the cheat codes. SEC, 401, cheat code. PUB, 969. PUB, 970. Golden, PUB 590. Okay. Let me double check my work. I would absolutely hate if I gave you all the wrong information. Yeah. That would not be nice. Okay, I wonder. I'm like almost like 95% that I got you all the right information, because he gave us I'm just gonna be honest, he gave us the answer sheet, so I'm like, okay, yeah, I know it's the right information, but I'm also like, double check. Okay, Okay, so SEC 401. Yes. I'm just like, can I just read this? Okay, so yeah, I can. Cool. So health savings account PUB 969. Okay. CISA PUB 970. And then for Roth, Golden Roth, both of the Roths are going to be PUB 590. Okay, perfect. All right, we want to make sure we're good with that. Okay, cool. All right, all right, all right. Okay, so yeah, that's what basically I was telling you all is like, we can't do it by ourselves. That's basically what I'm trying to say. Okay. Yeah. So, this is the last of it. How do I go from here? So I'll tell you this. He said that people who try to go from contributors to creators, they'll go open a solo Roth IRA, and with 18 months, so again, this right here, this solo Roth is basically what will transfer you from contributor to creator. And so what he said is that once you open this up, typically most contributors who've learned the contributors game will go back to being a contributor instead of a creator after 18 months. Because the reality is, a contributor who's also an entrepreneur, he said that entrepreneurs are typically high achievers in a contributor's game until they get to a solo Roth that lasts about 18 months. Then they go back to being a contributor because they like to do things by themselves. But you can't do things by yourself in the creator's game. And so I'm just going to read my notes. It's not about the money for creators, but about moving up in the game, in the creator's game. I told myself to go to page 49 for a reason, so let's just go there. Let's play the game. Money movement. Who do you move money with? Other creators. But why? It keeps your money safe because your net worth equals your net work. There you go. That's why. Because people who know how to play the money game, they play with each other. They don't play the money game with contributors because they don't know the money game. So if you knew the money game, you would get past this part, move over to the creator side, and start playing with the creators, and then you'll start getting all these other accounts. But he says this is the most powerful, and this is the first one you should get to the other side, and then you should start having all these other accounts. But the reality is, you can't, once you get to this side, if you don't have anyone to play with, then you end up coming back to the contributor side. So you have to be able to play with your peeps. You know, you have to play with people that know the money game. And so if you kind of think about media and things of that sort, you see all these, you know, these collaborations and things of that sort that are like kind of odd sometimes. You're like, how did that even happen? Because they're all playing the money game, y'all. They're all keeping it on this side. They're all collaborating with each other because they're all taking care of each other in that way. And so if you kind of see the game, if you see the game as a ladder, I think the best way I drew it on my notes is like this. So if the ladder goes this way, right? That's your ladder, right? That's the top of it, that's the bottom of it, okay? And so in the creator game, I'm just gonna put this here because I think that'll make life easier for you all too. So we have contributors and we have creators. Don't forget, we are all creators. It's just some other creators created the rules of this game, okay? Alright, so the thing with creators is that no matter where you're at, you need people who are below you, who are equal to you, and who are above you. Okay, so no matter where you're at in the line, you need the people around you. Okay, and something that's in here, he says that you can't play with you can't play this game in terms of moving money. This is the game. It's just moving money. You can't move your money within your family. Okay, so you can't have a family office. That's the goal. But you can't move your money with your family because it just violates one of the rules of their game, to be honest. And so it has to be your friends, your network, your people that you trust. And so their goal is just to continue to move up the line, I don't know, to whoever's up here, Elon Musk, you know, but like, say the guy that I learned from, say he's like right here. He still needs these people that are below him, next to him, and above him to move money with. And so if he moves money with these people, then he moves up in the line. And you know what? He never really answered. I'm like, what's the point of moving up? But it's just also like, what's not the point of moving up, right? Like, this is my perception. The whole point of moving up is so that you can create bigger and better things, you know? Like, you kind of have to think about that's just a part of the game where you're like, it's like you get to fully live in creator mode. Over here, we're living in survival mode. Over here, we're living in full-blown creator mode. Like, I kind of see it as like, gosh, imagine if you were all high all end all creator, and you just like wanted to bring something into existence into this world. You can do that here. Like, imagine Disneyland, like that freaking creator all the way up here, right? Like, you're like, I want to create this freaking happiest place on earth. That's what they get to do. They get to focus on actually creating, and they're moving their money amongst each other to create those things. Here, we're too busy fighting with each other. We're too busy trying to do things by ourselves. We're too busy over here being isolated. We're too busy over here spending money on things that don't matter, trying to impress people we don't like. Like, what are we doing over here, y'all? So, I'm just saying, I was like, I'm trying to move over here. You know, that's why I was like, I'm going to move over here. I don't know how, I don't know when, but all I know is this. This is the game changer right here. Is financial IQ. Financial IQ, okay? The more our financial IQ goes up, the more money we'll make. Because you're going to be learning how to move that money. Right now, I don't know how to move that money. Where am I moving that money to? And so that is the problem that they run into. They run into, where am I going to move my money now? You know? And that's why they have to keep building their network. So I'm going to be honest with you. This whole thing, and he was honest with us, and I appreciate that. The guy I learned it from, he comes from a family of educators. His families, this is the thing, his family, they're totally okay with being contributors. For him, he wanted to be a creator. So that's one thing I want to share with all of you. That's like a big thing that he mentioned, was like, there's nothing wrong with either game. Just know what game you're playing, you know? So to be transparent, maybe I'll get over here one day, and I'm like, meh, I don't want to be over here, and I might be over here, you know? Like, that's something that I'm learning about myself is like that self-awareness. Like, I think this seems attractive, right? I mean, everyone over here, all contributors, like, we want to be entrepreneurs, all these things, whatever, right? I'm like, that's fine. It's because we want some sense of freedom. We want some sense of success. We want some sense of You know what I mean? Like providing for our families and things of that sort. But I don't want to give the impression that one is better than the other. I'm saying for myself, I want to see what it's like to play this game. I personally think I would like this game a lot better. But, you know, there's maybe some questions where I'm like, what if I'm just really good at contributing to this game? And there's nothing wrong with that. There's people that live, you know, on certain amounts of, you know, money and are happy. I mean, we know the story that people who don't have anything are the happiest. So I'm not saying that one is better than the other. I just want us to be aware of the games that we're playing. And I want you to be aware that these people back in the day created this game for us. And if you like playing that game, that's totally fine and okay. But I just want you to know that there's another game. Because there might be people playing this game and they know that they want more for their lives, right? Like that's literally the whole point of the event was like, if you aspire for more in your life, it's because you're aspiring for what these people are doing over here probably. You know, I mean, not everybody, but you're like, how in the world do these people get to live this way? And I'm living this way, and I so badly want to live probably like this way, or probably somewhere in between. But it's like, I have no clue how to get there. Well, it's because we don't know the cheat codes on how to get over there, y'all. And so, I just want you to know, like, over here, you're playing Pokemon. Over here, you're playing... Well, okay, let's be real. Over here, you're playing Mortal Kombat. Over here, you're playing... I'm trying to think of a game. You're playing... That's the game you use. You're playing baseball over here. Okay? Like, over here, playing Mortal Kombat. Over here, we're playing baseball. And so... That's exactly what he described it as. He's like, over here, people play baseball. He used the example. He's like, over here, you play hockey, and you're trying to play hockey over here. You can't play hockey over here because they play baseball. So, just something to think about. It's like, we have to learn the rules of their game, put on their uniform, get the bat, get the helmet, get the sliders, get the, you know, the cleats. We could play over here. But right now, we're playing hockey. You know, it's wilding out here. And that's okay. If you want to play hockey, play hockey. But if you want to play baseball, you got to play it by their rule, their games, okay? So, let me wrap this up for all of you. So, it's not about the money for creators. It's more about moving up in the game, like we talked about in the ladder. The number one rule, so, if any of you have watched Fight Club, the number one rule of Fight Club is what? Okay. I'm not going to say it. Because if you don't know it, go watch the movie. Number one rule over here is don't lose your money. Don't lose someone else's money, right? So they're moving each other's money, and if you're asking for someone to invest, things of that sort, like the goal is to not lose their money. The goal is to get the money back and give it back to the people that invested in you with profit. So number one rule over here, don't lose people's money, okay? Because if you lose people's money, they're going to tell everyone else on the team, like, hey, don't give that person money because they're going to lose it. So, just know that. Number one rule in baseball is to not lose the baseball, okay? So, just to wrap all of this up for y'all, I know you're like, oh my gosh, this is so long. I'm like, I want to see you pay the money to get access to this information, then to take the time out of your day, get yourself on the bus, because that's what I did. I got myself on the bus, had to, you know, I did what I had to do, sit there for, 20 hours, and I'm giving this to you all in less than 2, okay? So again, I will say that probably 10 of those hours out of half of those hours was going deep into all of this. The other 10, I would probably say, is the mindset part of it. Is the thing that I'm going to wrap up with all of you and everything else that we did and doing the homework and things of that sort, is just thinking and knowing that there's a whole other game, and knowing that we've been playing this game, and this is the game that a lot of us are currently in. I highly doubt anyone who is playing this game is watching this video. and so, yeah, I do think that a good half of it was really about the mindset and being like, hey, the game you're playing, like, you've been conditioned, put in a system and programmed to play this game that was made by these people. And so if you want to be over here on this side, you gotta be playing a different game. Okay, so let's wrap this up, y'all. So you need people to play. You need to know the money game. Okay, over here, this is like the grind hustle game. I was here, and I love Gary Vee, but I also got that a lot here. And you know, now that I think about it, we got that a lot. I got that a lot from Gary Vee because he also comes from an immigrant family. So I think this is just kind of like an immigrant situation, unfortunately. But the difference part, right, is learning the cheat codes, increasing our financial IQ, which increases how much money we make and have, and so then we can start learning how to play this game so we can start moving money, right? So again, your network is your net worth. So this is probably one of the biggest things that have stuck with me through college is just the people we surround ourselves with. So if you kind of think about it, if you look at your bank account, like, and look at the 5 people you hang out with, I mean, first off, are you even talking about money? That's probably like the first part. But second is like, how much money do they make? You know, and if you kind of find that you all are in a similar place, then it's because that's where y'all are at, and that's okay. It's just the law of averages, you know. So over here, it's all about relationships. Over here, it's all about like individuality, right? So like that's why I really admire this side, because it's actually very tribal over here. It's very tribal. You need each other. You need people to play with. If you don't have people to play with, then what's the point, you know? So I really appreciate that about them over here. It's that like, this is just kind of how I'm conceptualizing information. But like, if I want a baseball team, since I've been in San Diego, I've kind of like a little bit more gotten into baseball, and I want to shout out the Diamondbacks in year 2023. I think we're doing okay. We got into the final 2 against the Phillies. I don't know if we won, but I'm hoping we won in the recording of this video. But what I really like about over here is that that we are more worried about the success of others more than ourselves, but also because of ourselves too, right? Like, we have to put the success of others before us for us to be successful. Does that make sense? Like, it's like interdependent over here. Over here, it's independent. You know, you're doing it on your own. And I say this coming from an immigrant standpoint, y'all. Like, and I'm seeing this from my mom. I'm like, my mom is doing it by herself, and she's just a freaking workhorse and a work ox, and it breaks my freaking heart, y'all. And so, yeah, I just like, here it's like, man, what would it have looked like, you know? And the reality of this is just what it is. But what would it look like, gosh, if my mom duplicated herself and my dad was duplicated by her, whatever, right? And we came to play this game, but in their role. Does that make sense? Like, I think that's another thing we need to think about is over here, it's like I want to play baseball. I don't know if y'all play baseball, but so this is outfield. If you don't know, this is the batter. Here's your catcher. You got your people in the dugout. Okay, and then you have your pitcher, who's your money maker. I'm just kidding. I really don't know if he's the money maker. Everyone's a money maker, but everyone specializes in their field, right? This guy specializes in real estate. This person specializes in residential spaces. This person, been around too many men. My apologies. That's the reality of it, y'all. We know that. But we know that, but I kind of want to say that, because you're probably like, yeah, like all these like straight white guys, they just play with each other, da da da, or it's just a male-dominated field. Like, yes, because they're hunters. This is what hunters do. You know, if you want to be, and there's nothing wrong with this over here, but like, these guys are like, okay, we either can take down this woolly mammoth by ourselves, or I can truck over here, be a part of a tribe, play this game. I'm going to really get well at shooting the bow and arrow. I'm really going to get well at using the axe. I'm going to get really good at spearing. Oh my gosh, what did they used to do back in the day? Someone's going to get really good at building fires. Someone's going to get really good at building teepees or homes or whatever the case. Someone's going to get really good at getting food. Right? It's a tribe, you know, and they all eat. As opposed to over here, I'm really saying this for myself. Kathleen, are you listening? Over here, an entrepreneur tries to do all of these things by themselves. So no wonder we keep hitting our head against the wall. We need people, y'all. We need people. Okay? And despite the vessel that it's in, despite if they were born into this or not, despite the generation that they came from, despite whatever, okay? We live in 2023. And if you're watching this, we now have choice and opportunity to get to this side. More so than any other time in history. And that's completely up to you on how you want to do that. If you want to do that. If you're still even here watching this video. And so that's what I really love about this side. It's that it is about the tribe. And what you bring to that tribe. And how you all can make sure that you all eat and have fun and create while you're at it. Yeah, and that it's all about relationships. So it's like everything we've always ever learned when you're learning about this kind of content in general, entrepreneurship, growth mindset, leadership, things of that sort. Like everything that they've been telling us, they're doing over here. Right? It's about relationships. It's about the tribe. It's about specializing. It's kind of a hard one for me. I'm going to figure that out, though. I'm going to figure out what is... So that's like what really I have to think about right now. What I have to think about, K.Short, what you have to think about is what is your role in the tribe? Where do I want to be? Do I want to be this person? Do I want to be this person? Whatever role it is, specialize in it. And become a part of a team, right? But to even get a pass into this team, I need to get a solo Roth IRA, okay? So that's the first thing I need to do. I need to do some research on what that looks like. I mean, I have some cookie crumbles on what that gets me started, but I need to get over there. But the reality is, if I get over here without any network or whatever the case, I'm going to end up playing by myself. And you don't want to play by yourself. So that's why it's important to have connections. But like real connections, right? Like friends. Like friends that you would want to play with. You know? So that's basically the simplest way I can break this down for all of you. Yeah, like I said, it's like this. I don't know when this is going to come into my life. You know? Hopefully sooner than later. I mean, but to be real, like this one has to do with your kids. You know, this one also has to do with your kids. And I'm like, am I going to have kids? I don't know. Who knows? So maybe I only need to probably do 3. You know, and those are the cheat codes I need. And obviously, we read about how many cheat codes are. There's thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of cheat codes. But this is a start. And so this is what this video was for all of you. A start. And so, again, I just wanted to share this with all of you and with my future self and past self to see where we started. Whether it's on this Jimmy rigged video and setup, whether it's to remember, hey, this is where you were at in 2023. It's like, that's okay, you know? And I get to look back and see how much we've grown. Whether it's in video format, whether it's in home format, whether it's in mindset format, and that's exciting. Again, if we're not growing, we're dying. So thanks for everyone who stayed here through this video. To be honest, I didn't have to do this. It's the thing with me is I can create content all day. Like inherently I'm a teacher. Inherently I'm always learning and want to share with all of you. The person who I need on my team is to edit it, right? But I just want to put out there that I want to get to this side. This is the side I want to play on. At least I want to try. But right now, I'm decided I want to play on this side. And to be even more transparent with you, I want to, just like anybody else, I want to play on a team that wants to be on this side too. I understand that this is where I'm at right now. And I understand that there's people here that also want to get here. So just to be completely transparent with y'all, like, I'm looking for my tribe that wants to move over here. And I strategically want to find people who specialize in other things that I don't specialize in. Like, I want to make, I just want to make sure that we can all eat. You know what I mean? Like, I want to know that you are so good at what you do and you love what you do. And, like, I know that we can trust you, that you're going to hold down the fort in that way. Cool, you do that. I will support you in that, and I will do my thing so to make sure that we all eat. So I just want to be honest with you, whoever's watching this video, and you're like, yo, like, I think I'm a missing link to your tribe, and I think you're a missing link to your tribe, and vice versa, like, let's do that, you know? Like, this can all be really intimidating, you know, but it makes it so much more worth the journey when you do it with each other. And to be transparent with y'all, for those of you who are still here, that is something worth noting, but, like, most people won't do this. It's just the reality of it. If you've gotten this far, probably because you're highly considering it and because you know that there's more to life. And to be transparent, that's how I feel too. I know that there's more to life. And so taking the past 48 hours to know that there is more to life and that it's not just this, like, that there is options to play a different game. Like, maybe there's only 2 games in the whole world. I don't know. But, I mean, even just the idea, for me, I've adopted the idea that life is a game. But the fact that there's 2 games, I'm like, I got choice in this. Like, I don't have to play right here. Like, I could play over here. Like, what? Like, that was worth the best 48 hours I could have spent it in. Yeah, was this, like, a lot? Yeah, it was. But I'm going to have to get started like any other way, or I'm just going to keep playing this game and keep banging my head up against the wall and be like, gosh, I know that I'm meant for so more. I don't know how to get there, but it was worth it to me to get there. So I'm just going to be real with you. If you're not someone who would be willing to pay to play and to sit there and learn things out of your own free will and get self-educated, like, that's the difference, right? Like, yeah, you might have got your high school degree, your college degree, whatever, and like, probably just stop right there, and that's okay. But, like, I'm all about self-education and being like, yo, what do we need to learn next? You know, what's next and what needs to happen? If you're not into self-education and you're not into growth and you're not into investing in ourselves and investing in others and wanting to create and play and be over here, like, that's not someone I would want to be on my team, you know? And that's just the reality of it. But I know at the end of the day, to really sum all of this up, y'all, to live in this world that we've been so blessed to be in, is we need a team. More so, we need a tribe. Okay? And I say that realizing that it's only been the past 200 years that we have been humans like this, where we're living in overabundance and are as safe as we've ever been. And so the reality is, though, our biology, how our minds work, we're still very much cave people. We're still very much like, yeah, we're speaking a different language, and maybe we're not like, you know, we're just dressed up in nice clothes now, and we all can speak languages, and we have access to this thing called a cell phone. And our resources and our abundance and our information is in abundance. It's a lot different than how we've always lived, but we're still biologically the same. And so to survive in this world, you need a tribe. And why do we need a tribe? Well, it's because if you're isolated, like, you're not going to make it. And so just the last tidbit to kind of throw at you, if you really think about it, this is just my observation, speaking for myself. If you really think about it, in this world, in this game over here, I'm not saying these people, but at the same time, think about it. They're creating things, whether intentionally or unintentionally, for us to be isolated. social media. Social media. Social media and technology. How do I say this? Just systems over here, y'all. Just think about it. The best example I can use is I've learned recently that at 18 you have to make your own appointments for your health. That means that your parents can't make those appointments for you. And maybe you should be making those appointments for yourself, but if you think about social media and the way that's affecting young people nowadays to how to make an appointment, like, it could be a learning curve for some people, you know, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just like, hello, you know. Anyways, beyond all that, yeah, isolation, independence, interdependence, isolation, tribe, isolation, team, togetherness, right? It's what we've always done as humans. This is just how it's done in the past 100, 200 years since all of our new inventions and tools that we've created. So, all right, y'all, move the money. It's all about, the money game is about moving the money, okay? And yeah, so if you are wanting to move towards this direction, I would love, 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 love to connect with you, because the reality is, if you're an entrepreneur over here, I'm not saying I'm not yet, but if you're an entrepreneur over here, that's already a lonely game. And so to be with other entrepreneurs that don't want to play entrepreneurship on this side, but they want to play entrepreneurship on this side, like, those are the people that I would love, absolutely love to connect with. So if that's something that you're interested in, you all know what to do. You can press all the buttons, follow all the things. But I would love to connect with you so that we can start creating some really cool stuff on this side. So I hope that you all enjoyed this video. I hope that you got some value out of it. I know that I did. Like I said, y'all, half the days was really going deep into this. My brain hasn't. What I'm sharing with all of you is what really seeped into my body, so much that I can tell it to all of you. And I wanted to tell it to all of you within the same day that I learned it, because my brain, I have such an active brain, it's going to go somewhere else and it's going to start thinking about other things. Really, now it's thinking about how can I implement what I've learned. And so I hope by the time I get to watch this video next, we got some of these things implemented and we're on our way. So, all right, y'all, press the buttons, do the things if you want. If not, cool. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye now.